This wedding was an assignment for my Religion 2 class in Catholic school.
This one's wife. Jam hunt. Number 19 is found. A talentless nobody created some jam products. They were labeled as American Riviera Orchard Retirement Home. In a covert operation, 50 jars of jam were issued to a variety of people. The world has not waited with bated breath to learn who those individuals are. First, Delphina Blackier, the wife of a polo player, revealed she had received a pot of the fabled strawberry jam. She was soon followed by Tracy Robbins, the wife of the Paramount CEO, that she too had received a jar of jam. Soon thereafter, Kelly McKee Zafir, who spends her time on ski slopes and hanging around in parking lots with this one's wife, also revealed she too had received a pot of the legendary jam. 3 women, largely unheard of, mainly as a consequence of their husbands. Bit of a common theme developing here, have received the jam. But now, emerging from the mists, walking into the sunlight, holding a jar of jam, another recipient has unveiled herself to the world. Yes, holding number 19 of 50, the world looks on as... Mindy Kaling reveals she too is a jam recipient. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Naturally, this momentous event of the distribution of the jam, which probably is on a similar par as the Berlin airlift, when supplies were airlifted into Berlin when it was blockaded many years ago by opposing forces of the Soviet regime. Yes, this one's wife has been causing a stir with this brilliant marketing initiative of hers, whereby various women so far, it would appear that men are excluded from the list. Perhaps that will change, but so far no sign of that happening, as Mindy Kaling becomes the 4th person to admit to the world that she has received some strawberry jam from this one's wife, and that she was number 19 of 50, thus being in the top half, but only just. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Mindy Kaling, she is an American actress, comedian, screenwriter, and producer. She has Indian parents, and basically she's well known as a consequence of being in the Office sitcom from 2005 to 2013. She's done some work in film also, and she did some voice roles in Despicable Me, Wreck-It Ralph, and Inside Out. She's had some Primetime Emmy Award nominations also. Thus, she receives some of the jam. And she's posted on her Instagram a picture of what she has received with the label Obsessed at American Riviera Orchard. And once again, it is the mysterious picture of a jar of jam. It looks like the label stayed on this time, so maybe the adhesive improved. And inside is the jam, which I have to say invariably looks rather insipid in colour. It doesn't have that shine that you would associate with delicious, flavoursome jam. It looks a bit bland, a little bit like its supposed maker, I suppose. But the overriding point is, Mindy Kaling slaps this on the gram, and what do we see? A jar of jam surrounded again by fucking lemons. And so, what's the response to that? Ooh, I really want some of that jam. That looks tasty. Oh look, Mindy Kaling is obsessed with that jam. I better try and get some too when it becomes available. No, those aren't the responses that come. The response is, why would you be obsessed with a jar of jam? Are you a simpleton? And why does it come in a bowl of lemons? Doesn't make sense. You don't make strawberry jam from lemons. Why do you keep putting it in with the lemons? Why not just send the jar of jam on its own? Why not put it in an attractive box? Why not surround it with some strawberries? Why not send it in some red packaging? But why do you keep sending these things in a bowl of lemons? It's nonsense. It's a shit launch. It's a clusterfuck. It's useless. In fact, one might even come to label it as scam jam. Although Mindy Kaling has joined in, and she's the fourth one to do so, and she has the position of number 19, it isn't having the effect this one's wife wanted. Sure, plenty of people are talking about it. Lots of people regularly talk about this one's wife, and that's all fuel. But increasingly the case is that it's ridicule, criticism, questioning of her. People asking, is she able to do this? Shouldn't it have a list of the ingredients on it? And there's a debate about, well, she can do this because she's gifting it to friends rather than commercially selling it. But what's she going to do when she starts selling it commercially? Is she flouting the regulations? Thus, people aren't talking about how lovely the product is. They're questioning its bona fides versus the regulations. People aren't thinking, I'd really love some of that on my toast. Where can I get some? How much is it going to retail for? When's it coming on sale? No. Instead, people are laughing at the fact that it keeps appearing in a bowl of lemons. People are just shaking their heads at the cheapness of this launch and remarking on the individuals that are so far admitted to being those that are in receipt of these mystical jam jars of strawberry jam. As marketing goes, it's useless. Yes, plenty of people are knowing about it, plenty of people are talking about it, although not particularly favourably. As mentioned in parts passim, 98% of people on one poll said not interested in buying it, which is disastrous. But it demonstrates once again the nature of this one's wife, that with her magical thinking, driven by her narcissism, she just expects that people will be flocking to buy this jam because it's linked to her. She hasn't given it any appropriate thought as to, is the name a suitable one? Does the jam look attractive? Is there a story associated with it? Will people react badly to the fact that I've positioned them at number 38 out of 50? Would it not have been better just to have said it's a limited edition jam and then not actually given you any indication as to the numbers involved so nobody feels like they're down the rankings? Why am I sending it out with lemons? No. People are probably advised on the best way to do it, but she doesn't listen because she knows best. And she expects, because of her sense of entitlement and magical thinking, that it works like this. Oh, I'm Saint this one's wife. I've created jam. Oh, shouts the world. Thank you for making jam for us. We're so fortunate. Let's all stampede to where we can buy it. Huzzah, says this one's wife. They're buying lots of my jam. I have now more money to buy shit clothes. No. She just thinks it's a case of, if I build it, they will come. If I pump up the jam, people will come and buy it. But it isn't going to work like that. There's actual effort required. Marketing, thought processes need to be applied. Popularity needs to be created. But none of that matters to this one's wife because she is the expert and she just assumes that because it's associated with her, lots of people are going to go and buy it. And they're not. Instead, they're spending their time laughing at her, which of course is challenge fuel. And it isn't going to translate into the sales that she thinks it is, but rather people are scratching their heads, shaking their heads, throwing snark towards her as a consequence of the jam hunt. Number 19 has been found, and once again, it just raises questions about why the bloody lemons. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.